Hello there, it's me, Mrs. Crowder. I wanted to make this video for my students to make sure everyone's on the same page in case you've been absent to understand what's happening while I'll be gone in Finland. First, I want to thank you so much for helping me with my talk and thinking about how it would be received by high school students. And several of you have given me some feedback on my talk and also given me some ideas of how I can be sharing hope with the students in Finland. And I just want to make sure everyone knows exactly what's going on. So I'm going to be gone on missing 2 classes. And so the first class that I'm going to miss will be a review day. When we last have class together this week, you should have your packet completely done. And what I'd like for you to do on that first review day that I'm gone, which will be Tuesday and Wednesday, I want you to spend some time doing GIM kits. I will have a review video for you to watch. And so I'm going to give you about 30, 40 minutes to do that review and then take a break. And then what I'd like to do is show you a video that I've made with Matt Popovitz. And he has written a book called Junk Drawer Jesus. And in this book, it covers a lot of the topics that we talked about in this unit. And so I want to have you watch that video as a way of review to think about how we are saved, not because of what we do, but because of the good news of the gospel of what Jesus has done for us. So that's what day 1 is going to look like. And then day 2 is when you're going to take your test. It's very important that you have your study Bible. In class, we've read Romans 4 and Romans 5. If you were absent, there are ed puzzles linked on the 10 words overview on Crusader Connect. Please make sure to watch those and make sure that you've read through and taken notes in your study Bible. The first part of the test is multiple choice and true false. And so you're going to come into the classroom, you're going to put everything away, and you are going to take the multiple choice and true false portion of the test, and then have your Bible in front of your computer. Once you finish that part, the sub will have the code for part 2 that once you have uploaded that, you'll raise your hand and the sub will come and show you the code so that you can begin part 2, which is the writing portion. The writing portion is going to have 3 main questions. The first question is you're going to think of an example of the law in the Bible. Now, I asked you to highlight all of the verses in your packet that talked about law. Of course, you can think of Exodus 20 with the 10 Commandments. That would be a wonderful way. But I want you to not only tell me about the verse, but tell me about all those things connected to the law, that it shows our sin, that it's a curb, mirror, and guide, and says what we must do. So make sure that you're incorporating that into your response. And then you have to give me a Bible verse that's about the gospel. And we've highlighted those, and I asked you to write gospel in the margin there. You could use my favorite memory verse. You could use your favorite memory verse that's talking about what Jesus has done. Remember, the gospel is not what I do. The gospel is the good news of what Jesus has done by his death and resurrection, his life, death, and resurrection, and bringing us salvation by conquering sin, death, and the devil, right? So remember that. And then the question that we've talked about, we did, instead of doing the 6-word journal, I had you all evaluate some students' past work of their 6-word journal. The question is going to have you think about all of our 10 words in the light of law and gospel. So original sin, actual sin, and law, those are all words that are law words that show us our sin. That's not how we are saved. But then the rest of the words are all gospel words, how God is working salvation in us. And so your final essay question, I'd like it to be 13 sentences, because you saw in the samples, when students try to put 2 words in one sentence, they often don't define it. You're going to use all 10 words. You need to have them memorized, and you need to use your Bible. You're going to use 3 verses from a chapter that I'm going to choose for you. And you are going to answer the question, how does a Christian know they are saved? Now, of course, Christians are not saved because of sin or because of the law. We know this. We are not saved by the law, but by the gospel. So you're going to have to explain it in a long gospel context and say, that even though Christians know that they have broken the law because they've inherited original sin and they commit actual sin, like, fill in the blank. So you're going to be writing an essay, and I recommend that you follow my instructions and write 13 sentences. Could you write more than 13? Possibly, but please don't, because you could write books and books and books on this. We want to keep it concise. Make sure, though, that you understand the definition of each of these 10 words and that you're using those keywords in your description so that I understand that you know how this word works. And please make sure that you are showing that we are saved by the gospel and not the law. And so that's going to be your test. And after your test, the sub is going to give you your final exam review guide. When we come back from break, I'll be grading those tests. And if you are absent during this time, I think that because of the Thanksgiving break, I would like you to try and take the test. I have a couple kids who have been struggling with some illnesses. We will work individually, but for the ease of the sub plans, please participate in class. And even if you're not feeling ready for the test, I'd like you to try to be ready. I'll be communicating with my students who've had long-term illnesses and make sure that you guys are being taken care of. But go ahead and go for it, because we know that the actual act of taking the test will help form that memory. Almost everything on this test is going to show up again on your final exam. When we come back from break, we're going to watch a movie and we're going to review every day for our finals so that you're feeling really prepared and confident. When we come back from break, I'll also open my classroom for what I call like a study session after school. I'll be working on PhD stuff. I'll have my relaxing music. You can come and review on whatever class you're working on, and we can study together. This is especially helpful for anyone who's feeling anxious about their finals. Sometimes working in a classroom can help you focus and not feel too anxious. So hopefully that will be a comfort for you in 334. Thank you so much for praying for me on my trip to Finland. I'm so excited. My whole family gets to go on this adventure, and I'll be taking you on the adventure as well. I'll be sharing this experience on YouTube. And so I really look forward to sharing the gospel with you and sharing the gospel with the students in Finland. And I hope you guys have a really great time with your sub. Thank you for being on your best behavior. We're going to come down hard on any student who doesn't know how to follow directions. So make sure you sit in your assigned seats and that you follow all the directions and work only on faith things in faith class. Have a great day, and we'll see you after Thanksgiving break.